Hello again, everybody. Zack Attack is here with my WWE Raw review for tonight, Monday, September the 15th, 2014. Of course, the final Raw before Night of Champions this Sunday. And my thoughts on this one tonight from Louisiana at the Cajun Dome was hit and miss. You had some interesting segments, especially with Cena and Lesnar. It was kind of smart for them to have the segment doing the halftime of Super Bowl of the Monday Night Football. But it kind of hurt the rest of the show because the main event was early, and I can't believe they had to end with Mark Henry and Rusev. It's kind of weird to see an end with that, but still. It was an okay one tonight. Does it give you pumping Night of Champions? Especially if you have one of the matches set for Night of Champions in the main event. So there you go. See how that goes with Sunday. It's going to be okay, Carmen. Tonight's Raw didn't get us excited. It was okay. Well, no hit and miss Raw. But let's get down to it with, of course, the big scenario. John Cena and Brock Lesnar. Of course, your main event for Night of Champions. Cena decided to interrupt Paul Heyman's opening salvo by saying that, well, Lesnar needs to be here. I told you, Heyman, that if Lesnar doesn't get produced by you, you're going to get your ass beat. And Cena, I can't believe he actually said halftime in the promo. They actually said, if he doesn't come back by halftime, then you're going to get your ass beat if Lesnar don't show up by then. So they decided to put Paul Heyman in John Cena's locker room locked with Great Khali as a security guard. And of course, later on at halftime of the football game, Colts against Eagles, actually, I think it was okay, exciting, better than one tonight almost. Since the Eagles brought it back, I don't know what's going on now because I haven't been able to watch most of the game because I've been here. So, I've channeled stuff like every other fan. Oh, I have a picture. So at halftime, here comes Cena saying, oh, hey, then. It's time for you to bring the beast out or your ass is mine. So we have Heyman come out, or be dragged out, should say, by Cena. And my prediction on the Attack Sports today and on last week's review was right. That Lesnar was going to come out, then Heyman would get his ass beat for a little bit, and then Lesnar would come in. Now before Heyman would try to say, hey Cena, I set you up, man. I wanted you to embrace the hate. Not on the fans, but on me. We saw him try to do that last week. An interesting promo last week. And Cena almost walked away, especially when he said, like, if you beat me up, Cena, you become a Paul Heyman guy. That was kind of weird to say that. So then Cena walked away, like teasing to walk away, and then Heyman's like, hey, your mother would be proud of you if her son had testicles. That drove Cena off. He shoved Heyman out of the ring. Cue up the Heyman man Lesnar's music. And I thought it was going to be another mind game because we've seen Lesnar and Cena build-ups before, whether it was Extreme Rules or at SummerSlam. They didn't get into any physical confrontation. They just eyed each other until Lesnar backed away. Lesnar almost backed away this time. And that was actually an interesting segment. One of the best segments of Raw tonight was these two. You know, Lesnar started teasing. He walked away a little bit. He walked on the ramp and he walked back. He gave Heyman the belt. Walked to the ring. Jumped on the apron. Cena went wide at him. And here comes Lesnar for the beatdown. Tosses Cena out of the ring. But then Cena will come back from behind, delivering his own attack on Lesnar, dragging him outside the ring, and beating him up before security came. It was an interesting segment between Lesnar and Cena. Probably the first physical altercation between them on a wall during a build-up for their feud. You know, like I said, Extreme Rules, SummerSlam feud, we never seen them get into a confrontation before. Well, I think Extreme Rules, we did see a confrontation. A couple weeks before Extreme Rules, we did see them get into a fight. But not during the build-up for SummerSlam. We didn't see them get into a physical altercation before the pay-per-view. But tonight, we did see the fight before Night of Champions. Should be an interesting main event, though. More interesting than we thought, even though it is a SummerSlam rematch. But Cena showed some fight tonight. Let's see if Cena shows that fight at SummerSlam. Rematch at Night of Champions. So we got that segment out of the way. Let's get through the rest of Raw. Kicking off with Kane and Chris Jericho. course, Jericho will take on Randy Orton this Sunday. Like, the feud started when Jericho had Orton as a guest on the highlight reel. And then the six-man tag 2 weeks ago as well kind of helped too. And also the attack from Orton on Jericho last week after Jericho's match against Bray Wyatt in the steel cage also kind of triggered it. So we had Kane and Jericho. Interesting to see Kane against Jericho. It was an okay matchup. Interesting little match between these two guys. Decent action in this matchup with Jericho. Delivering some nasty moves on Kane. Delivering, of course, his big moves. There was a cool spots. Decent spot. Like Jericho going for the lion salt. And they got caught and made everybody Kane. Like he did the lion salt, but he got caught by Kane on the neck. And Jericho got cut a little bit. He got cut up on the neck. And it was a cool little... I thought Kane botched the move, but it was ended up Jericho countered it with a DDT. And then, of course, Kane tried to play dirty. Tried to throw Jericho into an exposed turnbuckle. He did expose a turnbuckle at one point. But Kane would later eat it. As Kane was also to the exposed turnbuckle to give Jericho the victory. 1-2-3 victory for Chris Jericho. An interesting opener between Kane and Jericho. It's easy. Like, Kane did his best as well. Being Cobra Kane and all. But, of course, this is Jericho's last week. And this could be Jericho's last Raw for a while. Because Jericho is about to head back on the one with Fozzy. So, this could be the end of Jericho's recent stint in the company. Maybe his last. Who knows? This could be his last match on Raw, period. Who knows if Jericho decides to come back. Because he's a little bit old now. He doesn't need to come back. He likes to come back just for the fun of it. Not for the money, but because of the passion and the glory. And also to push young guys. And get them over. Well, at least he got Bray Wyatt over in that steel cage match last week, but too bad Big Show couldn't get him over tonight. Anyway, I'll get to that match in moments. So there you go. Jericho got an okay matchup against Kane. Open at 1 tonight. Now on to our next scenario. We've been seeing this feud build up for weeks. We finally got to see the match involving Jack Swagger and Bo Dallas trying to make us believe. But indeed, like Bo did his best. Like his character, like he's a character you love to hate. And I know we got that Kevin Steen guy coming from the Ring of Honor. And I hope they don't fuck him up like they did Bo Dallas' character. His character was okay. It's okay. Like I said, it's just like some people could call it annoying. Like I talked to my friend on the phone a lot, and he cannot stand Bo Dallas. He just hates the character. You know, prancing around, all that shit. And Swagger is still getting some good babyface cheers, you know. Even though his feud with Rusev's over, but at least his feud with Bo Dallas has been heating up a little bit with the altercation the last couple of weeks, and this match finally happened tonight, and it was an okay little match for these two guys. Swagger needs some good moves, of course, going for that Swagger bomb. But then, like, Bo Dallas would do some things, including trying to show off by doing the We the People thing. He took too much time. He was on the top rope doing that, and he paid dearly for that move. And he did another move. He didn't do it for that running bulldog, but he went for a couple of decent spots, including the ending with the sunset flip. Then Swagger would grab the leg, turn it into the Patriot lock, and Bo tapping, as Bo Dallas would lose in the hands of Jack Swagger with the Patriot lock. Who knows if this feud may continue, but I don't think so. You know, at least Bo lost again. I'm surprised Bo didn't let loose again. Because last time Bo lost, of course, his first real loss against R-Truth, he went nuts. He beat up R-Truth. So I would love to have seen him beat up on Swagger and enhance that character. What happens when Bo loses? He goes nuts. But we didn't see that tonight. So who knows what happened there. Now, on to our tag team affair, a Divas tag team match. Nikki and Brie Bella could finally get a chance to get in the same ring at the same time and beat up on each other. As they would team up, Nikki would team up with AJ. Actually, Nikki would team up with Paige, and AJ would team up with Brie. Sorry about that. I didn't mention this last week. Brie got a new theme. Nikki kept the old theme, and Brie's got a new theme. I don't think I mentioned that during their segment with Jerry Springer last week. They didn't tease Nikki and Brie facing up, and then Nikki got the hot tag to Paige, and we didn't see any other altercation between Nikki and Brie, which I think is smart because I don't think Nikki and Brie should have an altercation during a tag team match. I think these two should have a singles match. And it's going to be interesting to see the three main participants in the Triple Threat Divas title match this Sunday. Of course, Paige will defend against Bree's sister Nikki and AJ. And AJ will get in a little bit, but it was mostly Bree getting on the smashing, including getting caught in the Rampage in the victory for Paige and Nikki. For Paige getting the pin. And Nikki delivering damage to Bree when she was already down. So, they of course, Nikki Bella's kind of weird. I said this last week on my Raw review that Nikki Bella's basically an afterthought because, well, it's all about the AJ Page feud. The mind games continued as every time Paige started skipping in the ring, AJ would skip outside the ring, and every time Paige would look, she would stop, and then they would do it. It was interesting to see that scenario all pan out between Paige and AJ. Like I said last week, Nikki's just an after. It's kind of they just shoved Nikki in this feud. It's like, Nikki, do what you can do with this. Just shove you in, not preparing anything to be nothing more than an afterthought in the Paige AJ feud. Just a bookender. I'm trying to use the right term, but like I said, Nikki's an afterthought in this situation. So now on with the next matchup, Big Show against Bray Wyatt. Now, we've seen Big Show team up with Mark Henry against Harper and Warren. Yay, we didn't see that again this week. Like we have been for the last fucking month. But at least Big Show kind of continues his feud with the Wyatt family by feuding with Bray. And I'll give Bray credit. Bray had a decent match with Big Show. I gave Harper and Warren credit for holding the one against Big Show and Mark Henry in tag matches. And once again, I'm giving Wyatt a credit for holding his own against Big Show. You couldn't. I would love to see Sister Abigail and Big Show. I would love to see Bray Wyatt attempt that. He didn't do it this match. But I'd like to see Bray and Big Show maybe again, especially to see Bray Wyatt try to connect the Sister Abigail on Big Show. He had a chin lock and some decent little moves on him. He clipped the knee. Because being a big guy, Big Show, the big target is always the knees. When it comes to small guys fighting big guys, the knee's always the target. And, he chopped the knee a few times. He focused on that knee. I think he should have focused on it a little bit more. But as Big Show came flying back to fight the knee chops, here comes Hope and Warren, causing disqualification. That was the only bad part of the ending. They kind of ruined it. Bray could have got a big finish. It could have got a huge win, a clean finish over such a veteran like Big Show. But nope. Big Show won't get Bray Wyatt over. And he got a cheap win over Bray with the disqualification. And Big Show just dominated everybody. Clean sweep out of the ring, beat them all up, toss them out of the ring. So there you go. Big Show standing tall, winning by disqualification. But I think this feud may not be over yet. So I think Bray needs a good feud right now. So kind of reinvigorate the momentum he lost with Cena. He's starting to get it back with Jericho now done. Bray needs to climb back. He needs to come back big time. Bray needs a big push again. He lost momentum with Cena. So let's see what happens with Creative and see what they do with Bray Wyatt now. This Big Show feud could reinvigorate if they don't fuck it up. Like they did the Jericho feud. They could have done so much more with Jericho feud, but it ended up being a pointless feud. Despite the Steel Cage match being the best match, it being a good one last week. So there you go. Now, on with our 6-man tag team affair involving opponents and 9 champions. The champions, tag team champions, Usos, would team up with the United States champion, Sheamus, against their respective opponents and 9 champions. The Usos' opponents, the Dust Brothers, and Cesaro. A man who also needs a push, and hopefully he will win over Sheamus. They had a feud before this summer, and hopefully this time, Cesaro will win the championship over the Celtic Warrior. And the 6-man tag was kind of a fun one. Usos got isolated a little bit in the corner with Cesaro and Dust Brothers actually looking decently well as a 6-man tag. They were isolating the guys in the corner. Sheamus and Cesaro had a little interaction, especially with Sheamus getting neutralized by Cesaro towards the end. And the ending was kind of crazy with all the big finishes, all the big the splash moves, the flying moves from the Usos, the flying Usos, especially with the one that had the knee problems, proving that he is ready and raring to go for this Sunday. Of course, we saw the Usos do that sneak attack with the crunch last week on the Dust Brothers following the match. But like I said, tonight, The Usos, especially Jay, the one who had the knee injury, is doing fine. Selling at a 9. You know, fake or not, they're ready for Sunday. And they proved it with the double team moves, the big kick on Cesaro, doing the wild and crazy finish, leading off to the tag. Like I said, one Uso flying off the middle rope. And of course, the big frog splash from the other, the 1-2-3 victory for the Usos, getting the win in the 6-man tag, in a crazy one at that. These are little 6-man affair between Usos and Cesaro's opponent, Sheamus, and of course Cesaro and the Dutch Brothers. Dutch Brothers look really as heels, and we shall see what happens this Sunday in both respective matches. And also, this kind of weird, speaking of Night of Champions, it's kind of weird you see the pre-shows now an hour with Return of Christian. We haven't seen Christian in a while. He's got the peep show of Chris Jericho. And of course, it'll be on the network for only $9.99. I can't believe they got a fucking jingle. I'm not kidding. The t-shirts are selling. I'm not kidding. Just for shits and giggles, I went to WWEshop.com today trying to look for a WWE Network t-shirt. They ran out of all sizes besides small, 4XL, and 5XL. I'm not fucking kidding. But it's getting old now, especially now with the fucking jingle now. $9.99. It's kind of fun, but it's like, I think it's getting old now. So, there you go. The 99 thing, it's lost its luster. It's not as good as it was a month ago. You know, it's kind of funny a month ago. Now it's like getting annoying. Especially now with the jingle and the shirt selling out. Now that's funny. Then he's like, yeah, we're getting the money. We should make more money in the network. They probably made more money off the $9.99 t-shirts promoting the network than they made off the network itself. Weird. Anyway, after that we had the Cena Lesnar segment. Like I said, it was a really good, probably the only good thing that really make you excited for Night of Champions. The rest of it was like, okay. And not make you as excited for Night of Champions. But at least Cena and Lesnar's feud and their build-up and their segment time was actually pretty good. And like I said at the beginning of this, if Cena shows the fight he did tonight at Night of Champions, it would be a more exciting matchup because it was mostly lopsided. Even if we did see a suplex from Lesnar during that segment as well, then of course, like I said, Cena will come back. So we'll see if Cena does show the fight and tries to tie Ric Flair as 16-time world champion. That's the only reason why I think they made Cena lose. I called it a month ago that many people thought Cena was going to lose the title at Lesnar. And the reason why is because Cena was going to make a movie. But I said, and I'm right on this one, that the only reason why they want Cena to, the only reason why Cena lost at SummerSlam is so he can win the title back at Night of Champions and become 16-time world champion in time with Ric Flair. Then he'll probably lose it again, and the next time he becomes champion, he will be the record holder for most world title reigns of 17. It would be kind of weird to see Cena as 17-time champion. Love him or hate him. So there you go. Interesting segment, like I said, once again, we've seen the last probably the most exciting thing about Raw this evening. Maybe main event, but still. Now, on to the next affair. It was Karen Ione. Stupid, pointless, another pointless, purposeful plug for Total Divas. Psst. It was boring, it was okay, Naomi wins. We'll view, let's move on. I was watching football at that point. I bet you every man was watching football during the Naomi Cameron match. I'm not kidding. Probably everyone was watching that. I think that's when the Eagles catched up too in the match, in the fight. So it's kind of weird. They had the feud between them a few months ago. The only reason why they brought it back is, like I said, once again, because it was on Total Divas. Like I said, once again, another Total Divas plug, because it was mentioned on Total Divas last night. They decided to plug it by having these two fight again. And Naomi had a great push going on, and she's been stuck. But she has the right to be stuck. Paige and AJ stole the spotlight in the Divas division. And Naomi's a very talented athlete, but I think the injury that she had kind of held her back a little bit after she got the eye socket injury a few months ago by Oksana, who purposely got released after that. So there you go. We'll see if now we can get a big push again, but it's all about Paige and AJ right now. That's the big feud in the Divas division. And it's stealing the spotlight big time in that division. Now on to our next scenario. Speaking of Night of Champions, we got Dolph Ziggler and if Miz has got a stand-in, his stunt double, he's got a stunt double now. Dolph does. R-Ziggler. Yes, all truth. The new stunt double of Dolph Ziggler will team up against Miz and his stunt double. Damian Mizdow. Now, if you've been a regular viewer of my Raw reviews in the last few months, of course, you've been noticing about me bitching about Sandow's position in the company, but getting demoted to being a guy who just wears the fucking costumes every week and taking it. But I think he's done well with this Mizdow character. I give him credit once again. I've said it a few weeks ago, but I'll say it again about giving Sandow credit for adopting this character and doing the best he can and going along with it. He's doing well as Miz's stunt double. It's kind of a foil for Miz. And I think it benefits both guys. Not only does it benefit Sandow for giving him something to do, and really benefiting from it and adapting and going along well with it, playing it well. It also benefits Miz because the stunt double enhances his character of the Hollywood thing. We didn't see the makeup artist again this week, but still, at least it's finally enhancing it by adding things like the stunt double, making it really look Hollywood. So there you go. I know Rock pulled that character off a little better back in 2003. But still, Miz is pulling off decently. Better than he did when he first started adapting it, especially adding Mizdow in there. So there you go. Decent little tag team affair. Of all two doing his little flashy little funk moves. And Santa had a little bit of offensive until, of course, Miz would get the hot tag in. And, of course, Ziggler would get in there, too. And Ziggler delivered the famous serve till Mizdow broke the count. And all two came in to break up Sandow and take him out to the outside. And towards the ending with Ziggler, after trying to go for after nailing the famous serve, like I said, with Mizdow breaking the count, Ziggler would nail the zigzag. Miz and the 1-2-3 victory for Ziggler, getting a clean pin on Miz in a tag team affair. We'll see what happens this Sunday when Ziggler takes on Miz for the IC Championship and see if one or both stunt doubles will get involved in the outcome of the matchup. Speaking of matches at 9 Champions, on with our next matchup, which is a 9 Champions matchup between Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins. Now, I thought this match was going to end in a DQ because someone was going to return. No, he didn't. Maybe he returned 9 Champions, referring to Dean Ambrose, because I thought his movie would be done shooting by 9 Champions. I read that somewhere. They may be done by 9 Champions, so he could make a cameo appearance at 9 Champions this Sunday in Nashville. Who knows? Or maybe return next Monday on Raw in Memphis. Now, I've been to both arenas for different occasions, but the nice arenas, Bridgestone Arena and FedEx, when I'm there for vacation, for events. So, the beautiful arenas. I think Bridgestone's better. Because who doesn't like an arena that you walk in and you instantly get Dippin' Dots? I love Dippin' Dots. They're awesome. You never had Dippin' Dots before. They're awesome. Look them up. Anyway, now I'm cheap plugging. I'm cheap plugging shit. Nobody can cheap plug their own network on their own show. I can cheap plug Dippin' Dots. Anyway, enough of the cheap plugging. Let's get on to the main event. Rollins and Reigns. Really good main event, by the way. Really decent main event. Really good action. Some decent spots. There was a crazy spot with both guys on the top rope. It looked like Rollins was going to tease a move. I heard it was like called the Pepsi plugs that got banned. I think it's one of Punk's moves, too. Yeah, no Punk chance. There was Punk chance doing NXT takeover on Thursday, but thankfully he got booed down. So, it was a crazy little spot on the top, and also, it looked like it was going to be a quick match, especially the way, like Rollins came in with some big moves, especially a big move up the top rope a little bit, and also through the middle rope. But then Rollins would get nailed the Superman punch by Reigns. And then it was a setup for the spear, and I love that he leapfrogged over Reigns to avoid the spear. It was a high leapfrog from Rollins. And it was a decent little match, which ended, of course, Rollins did some big moves in. Maybe was trying to go for that curb stump. But then, from out of nowhere, here comes the spear from Reigns and the 1-2-3 victory for Roman Reigns. The match will still take place this Sunday at 9 Champions. But I think it could cause the return of Dean Ambrose, which I thought was going to happen tonight. But, fun little matchup. But like I said, it's kind of weird to have this match become the main event and also have it again in Night of Champions. We'll see, like I said, if it ends cleanly again. But I think it could end DQ with the return of Dean Ambrose to reignite the feud between him and Rollins before he went to make that movie. But I was like, looking at the clock, and I was like, wait a minute. It's 11:53 and the match is over. 10:53 and the match is over. What are they going to do for 7 minutes? And then I realized they didn't do Mark Henry's segment yet. And I was like, that's how they're going to end Raw tonight with Mark Henry against Rusev. The only good thing was the fact that during this segment, of course, Mark Henry would come out to LA America for his match against Rusev. He looked really good in the feud, especially delivering World's Strongest Slam on Rusev a few weeks ago. But then Rusev getting him revenge, especially getting involved in the Mark Henry matchup a few weeks ago. They had an arm wrestling match on SmackDown Friday. But then after Lana started talking trash again as they interrupted Mark Henry, they were getting into a fight. The only good part about this segment was Rusev trying to nail the accolade of Mark Henry. Mark Henry kind of got out of it and started dominating all over Rusev, tossing him out with Mark Henry standing tall. If there's one man that I think could finally break Rusev's undefeated streak, I think it's Mark Henry. He's looking really good in this feud. And Rusev's been undefeated for, like I said, 6 months. Rusev needs to face that adversity of losing. If Bo Dallas can lose and face the adversity of getting a loss, I think Rusev should face it. You know, like I said, he's been on the roster for, like I said, 5 or 6 months, and he hasn't lost a match yet. He got very close to losing against Jack Swagger. They're an interesting feud. So I think it's time for, and especially we just had the anniversary of 9/11, so it would make a whole lot of sense for Rusev to finally lose. And it's kind of interesting to see him in the main segment, though. It's kind of interesting to see something else and Raw for once. You know, I was kind of puzzled by Mark Henry and Rusev ending Raw tonight, but I think it was interesting way to end it. Instead of like having an Authority ending or a Cena ending, it was kind of weird to see something else, especially if that's been kind of mid-card type, get a main event ending of Raw. You know, get the last segment of Raw. It's kind of interesting. So there you go. There's an okay Raw tonight. There was a hit and miss. You know, there was 2 good segments in the main event, but like I said, as a whole, Raw was just okay tonight. And didn't do too well to excite fans for Night of Champions as a whole. But at least Cena Lesnar's segment and Mark Henry Rusev's segment was just a little bit enough to make people somewhat excited for Night of Champions. And main event as well. So there you go. Okay, Raw tonight. And I shall end Raw with a football score. I think the game probably ended as I was making this review. And, wow, Eagles won 30-27. And Colts were winning. And then Eagles had that interception. Turned into a touchdown. I think it was a fumble. So, a little bit of football there with Eagles winning. Wow, interesting. Game was more interesting than I thought tonight. And Eagles are 2-0. Side note. And that is it for my Raw review for tonight. With a little football tossed in. Thank you very much for watching. With that in mind, y'all been attacked by the review from Zach. Thank you again for watching. See you all later. Yeah.